The Flash has been a beloved superhero character in the DC Comics universe for decades, captivating fans with his lightning-fast speed and charismatic personality. With the highly anticipated release of the Flash movie directed by Andy Muschietti, fans finally get a chance to see the Scarlet Speedster in his own solo adventure on the big screen. Starring Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, Sasha Calle, and Michael Shannon, worlds collide when the Flash uses his superpowers to travel back in time to change the events of the past. However, when his attempt to save his family inadvertently alters the future, he becomes trapped in a reality in which General Zod has returned, threatening annihilation. With no other superheroes to turn to, the Flash looks to coax a very different Batman out of retirement and rescue an imprisoned Kryptonian. The plot cleverly weaves together personal struggles and the fate of the world, giving depth to the characters and their motivations. Whatever you may think of the actor, Ezra Miller's portrayal of Barry Allen, aka The Flash, is one of the film's highlights. Miller effortlessly brings Barry's wit, charm, and vulnerability to the screen. As there are now two Barrys, they cleverly push the more annoying characteristics to the alternate version, while the Barry we have become used to from the Justice League movie becomes a more grounded character. In the visuals department, The Flash is a movie of two halves. On the one hand, some of the film's CGI just works really well as it captures the Flash's lightning fast movements, showcasing his character's agility, power, and really making for some exciting action scenes. On the other hand, some of the CGI is really noticeable and not in a good way. The movie starts off with a big action sequence, and the CGI used to render the characters were laughably bad. This is also apparent later on in the movie when there are some cameos appearing, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb, as though the effects department was still working on the effects but had to be stopped to release the movie. Barry's weird, almost pushing through the air run in his back, for me, I always found it very jarring, and I think this is one of the aspects of why certain things didn't work for me in terms of the CGI. It just really makes things stand out even more than they need to. The portrayal of the Speed Force, however, the energy that powers Barry's abilities, is a particular highlight with its vibrant colours and ethereal presence. The film's strength comes in the form of this emotional journey that Barry Allen goes on. The film delves into his traumatic past, creating a strong emotional foundation for his character. Barry's growth and evolution are handled with care, allowing audiences to empathise with his struggles and root for his success. The relationships between characters are for the most part also well developed, providing additional layers of depth to the narrative. Barry's connection with his mentor Batman is explored in a more meaningful way, while his budding romance with Iris West adds a touch of warmth, albeit very awkward throughout. The narrative moves swiftly, balancing the complexities of time travel with character-driven moments, keeping the audience engaged throughout. The movie does feel a little drawn out in places, but the interplay between past and present events is handled well, with each revelation propelling the story forward and building anticipation for the film's climax. Speaking of past events, I think the main draw of this film will be the inclusion of Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman. Nostalgia definitely kicked in, but Keaton's performance just felt right. It's as though he had been playing the role all these years. He is definitely the highlight of the film and is great in every scene that he's in. Sasha Calle's role as Supergirl is good, however, I feel her character was underutilized, as was Michael Shannon's Zod. I feel like this is possibly where part of the problem comes from with the final act of the film, which is a very generic fight scene in a deserted environment. The inclusion of Zod and Supergirl ends up feeling like they needed a big action scene to flesh out the ending and threw them in when they probably weren't needed. This could have and should have been kept to just being a Flash story, and it does end up being that, but I felt that instead of Zod being there, they could have just fleshed out the problems of tampering with time travel and what it creates even more. All in all, I think The Flash successfully brings the Scarlet Speedster to the big screen in a way that will satisfy both fans and general audiences. Director Andy Muschietti's approach, coupled with the talents of Ezra Miller and the supporting cast, make The Flash a thrilling and enjoyable cinematic experience. The movie can feel a bit rough in places, especially in terms of some of its CGI, but it's still one that will keep you entertained and laughing throughout. What will happen next is to be determined. With the DCU changing under James Gunn, this may be the last time we see him on the big screen for a while, and even if we'll see Miller in this role again due to his personal exploits. Anyway, The Flash is out now in cinemas. Have you seen it yet? What do you think about it, and would you like to see a sequel? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.